Joe Biden had probably one of the best meltdowns I've seen from him in quite some time. And mainly that's because we basically never see him. And it shows you this is why they don't let the man near reporters. But as this reporter points out, Joe Biden basically has no choice but to start showing up. No one has confidence in him. Nobody wants the guy anymore. And if they're pointing out this kind of stuff in the interviews that are hand selected, hand vetted members of the press on CNN, then this dude is in real trouble. And this is probably going to be pretty fun to watch because when you have to lie to the questions posed by CNN for the benefit of the victims of CNN, you're done, man. I mean, if you watch this entire thing, it's pretty softball. But she did have one moment of something that almost looks like credibility, and Joey did not like it.
So when you talk about the economy, of course, it is by far the most important issue for voters. It's also true right now, Mr. President, that voters by a wide margin trust Trump more on the economy. They say that in polls. And part of the reason for that may be the numbers. And you're aware of many of these, of course. The cost of buying a home in the United States is double what it was when you look at your monthly costs from before the pandemic. Real income, when you account for inflation, is actually down since you took office. Economic growth last week, far short of expectations. Consumer confidence, maybe no surprise, is near a 2-year low. With less than 6 months to go to Election Day, are you worried that you're running out of time to turn that around?
We've already turned it around. Look at the Michigan survey. For 65% of American people think they're in good shape economically. They think the nation's not in good shape, but they're personally in good shape. The polling data has been wrong all along. How many, you guys do a poll at CNN, how many folks you have to call to get one response? The idea that we're in a situation where things are so bad, the folks that, we've created more jobs. We're in a situation where people have access to good paying jobs. And the last I saw, the combination of the inflation, the cost of inflation, all those things, that's really worrisome to people with good reason. That's why I'm working very hard to bring the cost of rentals down, to increase the number of homes that are available. But let me say it this way. When I started this administration, people were saying there's going to be a collapse of the economy. We have the strongest economy in the world. Let me say it again, in the world.
Although GDP last week was far short of expectations.
Oh, it wasn't. Look, GDP is still growing. Look at the response of the markets. Overwhelmingly positive. Overwhelmingly positive. And one of the reasons why people feel good about it not being as strong as it was before is they believe that the Fed's going to respond.
They hope they're going to get a rate cut.
The most prolific jobs creator in the history of the world, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think that Joey actually believes any of this stuff? I think he doesn't actually know the truth anymore. My gut tells me that the dude is just so far gone, so mushy-brained, that he just believes whatever aides and whatever his handlers tell him. And if I'm correct, these people are just not telling the guy the truth. I mean, when he took office, inflation was like 1.5%, something like that. And he seems to actually really believe that he inherited our current mess. Like he's got nothing to do with it. He does not remember literally everyone from both sides of the aisle telling him that the American Rescue Plan was probably going to lead us to exactly where we are. Actually, he half remembers it. He seems to half remember it. He said everyone told him our economy would be in trouble. Well, they were right, dude. They were absolutely right. I don't know how he's not figuring this out. I don't know how he doesn't see it, but he just can't recognize how bad things are. And here are the key takeaways, man. This is who these people are, and this is what they believe. This is a guy that promised an economy from the bottom up and the middle out, whatever that means. And she just talked about the fact that the cost of owning a house, the monthly cost, has doubled under his watch. And his answer is to essentially say, well, I'll try and help you find someplace cheap to rent. I mean, that's middle-class Joe. That's the poorest man in Congress, and apparently he'll do whatever he can for you. But I mean, what a freaking joke, man. These people, it's hard to watch. That's just my take, man. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you haven't already, be a part of our growth. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. I'll see you in the next one.